What's poppin', internet? Welcome to another episode of the Synced Up Filmcast, a show we reel you into Disney movies and talk about the other things that we've been watching. Pretty soon, it won't be Disney movies anymore.
I know.
We'll be reeling you into something else. Though something else we will announce next week, and we'll give the Discord and the YouTube comments and the Twitterverse and everywhere 2 weeks to vote on what franchise we do next. There's a lot of options out there. We will announce our nominations next week, so then you can get into that. YouTube, a comment on YouTube, a Discord message, a tweet, all of those will count as a vote. So we'll give people.
Do we have measures in place to avoid election rigging?
Well, how would we rig the election?
Well, I'm not going to go into detail to help somebody out there, but I have some ideas.
To rig it?
No.
I got nothing. I was just going to put it out there. Yeah, I'm not campaigning. We're not campaigning out here.
Why not?
No, we're not campaigning.
I can't campaign?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you're going to need some help.
Lucas might have my back, but I don't know. Chance will definitely be on Air Party probably, but...
Well, spoilers.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, they just spoiled one of them. No. We'll talk
Sounds like we have
week.
our winner early.
We'll talk. No. We'll talk about it next week. I'm peeking pretty hard. Make sure I'm not too loud, Jordan.
You're peeking?
I'm noticing I'm hitting the red a decent amount.
What are you peeking at?
I'm sorry. Sorry. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Timothy Rowe, and joining me this week, of course, is your boy Michael Clare.
Hi.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Today we're going to be ranking Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen. We forgot to mention it last week, but we put it in the description and we texted everybody in the Discord. We're sorry about that. Next week's going to be Big Hero 6 and Zootopia, which we'll talk about that. But we're going to just jump. Well, first and foremost, we got to address Encanto.
Okay.
Right? So, bring up the list, Jordan. Bring up the list. So, the issue with Encanto is I put it at number 1 and Mike put it at number 2. And we were going to wait for Lucas and or Jordan to watch it so we could do the tiebreaker of whether it goes at number 1 and number 2. Jordan didn't do nothing, and Lucas just watched Interstellar instead. So we can't do that.
Which is a fair call on Lucas.
Interstellar's so good. So good. Oh, yeah, I forgot we disappeared. So how do we break this tie?
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin?
What if we go off of IMDb?
IMDb? Like the ratings?
Yes.
Why would we go off IMDb's ratings? Because then, like, Home on the Range should probably move up.
You think Home on the Range has a high IMDb
It has like
rating?
a 60, I'm pretty sure.
No way.
Or a 6, like a 6.
You've got to be capping.
I'm thinking 6.7.
You are stupid. That was aggressive. I'm sorry.
6.7.
Has a 5.4. Calm down.
5.4. That's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad.
But that, I mean, I guess
Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic. Which one you want?
I guess we could go off what ranks higher on IMDb. Well, we'll go all three. What ranks higher on IMDb, Metacritic, and Rotten Tomatoes? Okay, so Jordan, bring up Google and bring up the Rotten Tomatoes score. Click it though, because we want
the audience score.
The audience score.
Okay.
We don't want the critic score. So Encanto, Rotten Tomatoes. So hit that. Click it because I'm pretty sure that's the critic score.
No, it shows both.
So 94 for Rotten Tomatoes.
94 audience score.
Now check the Lilo and Stitch. Can you should just be able to search it on here. Yeah. Lilo and Stitch 2000.
Let's see. Audience score 77.
No critic.
Whoa. Is this the show?
Oh, that is the show.
Okay.
That says series. When did the movie come out?
2002.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, 77 and 86. All right, now check IMDb.
All right.
IMDb Encanto. I think this one takes critics and the others to account. 7.6.
Okay.
So check the IMDb for
Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch. Make sure it's not the show. Lilo and Stitch.
So
2002. It's 2002. The one on top.
Yeah, very top. There you go.
Right there. 7.3.
That's 2 out of 3.
And then check. Just check the meta. Check the Metacritic. Metacritic Encanto. Encanto reviews on Metacritic 75 and a 7.1.
Okay.
And then Lilo and Stitch is the top one.
Whatever says 2002.
Wait, that's the game? Oh shit, I forgot games on here. Whatever is 2003. Oh, 2002.
Yeah, it's that one right there.
73 and an 8.4.
So it wins Metacritic.
Wins Metacritic, but loses slightly in IMDb, and then loses Rotten Tomatoes. Huh? Yeah. Okay, so knock Lilo and Stitch down one and put Encanto on the top. It was a fair assessment. I mean, I felt like that was the most fair.
Finally a dub for
the
this
most
side
fair
of the
way
table.
to decide it. 3 different aggregate websites.
Don't worry, it's gonna get bumped down to number 2 later.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway.
Hey.
All right. So,
I was joking.
No, here, don't worry about it.
Oh my
We're gonna get some interesting conversation when it comes to Frozen and Wreck-It Ralph.
This guy. I know what this guy's about to do.
Oh, sorry. Well, first and foremost, we forgot to do housekeeping. If you enjoy the show where we do this ranking stuff, you should consider going to patreon.com to support us on Patreon. To patreon.com/synceduppod, where for $1 you can get access to our Discord where we talk about these movies and a lot of other things, like how prayers out for our boy Lucas. He seemed like some stuff happened to him today, and he needs them positive vibes. So
Man needs a cheeseburger.
He needs a cheeseburger. So go ahead and send him his way. Hopefully he's doing good. Or for $5 you get access to that Discord and the post shows of all the shows that we do. Yesterday we talked about our favorite music. So if you want to hear what our favorite music is from the year, you can go.
Wrapped.
You can go back and listen to that if you pay the $5 tier. And many more goodies, all from youtube.com/synceduppodcast and podcasting services around the globe. New episodes of this show specifically go up in all of those feeds Tuesdays, 7 a.m. Central Time Zone gang. You can also write into the show to synceduppod@gmail.com or the Reader Mail Submissions tab of the Discord with any questions, comments, concerns, or games, and we will read those on the show. Finally got some Reader Mail this week. Thank you, Spencer.
Sir.
We appreciate you.
Hold
you should
it
also
down,
consider
Lance.
dropping a follow on Twitter @synceduppod to keep up to date with all of our content from across the board.
The board. Big board.
The board.
All right. The board. Get back to Disney.
Anyway, so let's start her off with Wreck-It Ralph plot summary.
Okay.
Going in. Wreck-It Ralph longs to be as beloved as his game's perfect good guy, Fix-It Felix. Problem is, nobody loves a bad guy, but they do love heroes. So when a modern first-person shooter game arrives featuring tough-as-nails Sergeant Calhoun, Ralph sees it as his ticket to heroism and happiness. He sneaks into the game with a simple plan: win a medal, but soon wrecks everything and accidentally unleashes a deadly enemy that threatens every game in the arcade. Ralph's only hope? Vanellope von Schweetz, a young, troublemaking glitch from the candy-coated kart racing game who might just be the one to teach Ralph what it means to be a good guy. But will he realize he's good enough to become a hero before it's game over for the entire arcade? So I liked our experiment last week to rank before we talked.
Really? You want to do that again?
I do want to do it again.
I want to do it again because you're going to put it at number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think Wreck-It Ralph's the best movie on this fucking list.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, it's like 6.
Okay. Which puts it at 4 or 3. So which probably means 4 because everybody else will
Put it lower.
No, put it at 4. Right? Because if I put it at 1, you put it at 6.
You think?
No, it goes at 3. I'm tripping. Right?
You think?
Right in the middle. Yeah, it goes at 3. Yeah. Because halfway between 1 and...
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. Put it wherever you want.
Yeah.
You think Wreck-It Ralph?
Put it at 3. That's right in between.
You think a movie called Wreck-It Ralph is better than Treasure Planet,
Yes.
Tarzan,
Yes.
Lilo and Stitch,
Yes.
Encanto?
Yes. I think Wreck-It Ralph is the best Disney movie that I've watched so far.
Now,
I'm sorry, and I know everyone's gonna hate me for this. I'm glad you. It's not recent. That movie came out in 2012.
no, you recently just watched it.
Yeah, but that's
That's
not been
what-
the case for all of these films. I haven't been putting them all at number 1. I didn't put Encanto at number 1. That was Mike.
That was me.
Yeah.
But that movie was built for me.
Yeah. So I haven't put them all at number 1.
Meet the Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons I did put at number 1. Yeah, of course. But I do think Wreck-It Ralph's better than Meet the Robinsons. I didn't.
Now you need to explain why.
Okay, so first and foremost, I expected to rewatch this because I watched this movie once when it came out in theaters with my dad and Noah, and I never watched it again. Never seen the second one, which we will get to in a couple of weeks. Which I'm excited to see what they do with that with the internet stuff. My dad said it was terrible, but it's my dad. You know how he is. I'm glad you put it at number 6 because that means you enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I did.
But I did not expect to enjoy this movie as much as I did on the rewatch. Because when I was going into the rewatch, I was like, okay, we're definitely a top 10er because pretty much every modern era Disney film is a top tenner. Aside from the ones I haven't seen, I can't speak on those, but the ones that I've seen, they're all top teners for sure. The majority of them top 5. So I was like, okay, it's definitely going to be up there, but it's probably going to be like 4 or 5. And even then, I'll probably knock it back a couple notches because it's just, I don't know, the characters and stuff. But rewatching this movie, I loved it so fucking much. It honestly, the more I think about it and going in watching at least half of it a second time, it's like climbing the ranks of some of my favorite animation movies out there for a lot of reasons. So the video game-ness obviously does a lot for it for me. Of course, there's like a little bit of a bias there. 100% gonna acknowledge that right out the gate, the video gaminess. I have no qualms with this film. I love every single aspect of this film. How self-referential it is, how much it references other things, how much fun they have with like the video game aspect of things. You know, when he's like digging through the little trunk and he pulls out the mushroom and then he pulls out the Metal Gear Solid exclamation point and that stuff. All the stuff in the background where you can see like Sonic and all Pac-Man and all those characters like in the background, incorporating all of these beloved things that I used to play so much as a child. And of course, I have a big fondness for the arcade because of like the arcade business that my dad got into there for a few years and playing arcades and buying arcades and selling them. So I was very into that. And also, it's just like the camaraderie, not camaraderie, but the character like connections between Ralph and the glitch, Vanellope. I love it. I think Vanellope is like one of the best Disney characters out there. She's the shit. She's funny. Every single line she says is so fucking funny. Her character is great. She's like a little kid, but not at the same time. I love how every game has like this like embodiment, like the sugar rush and all of that stuff. It just, everything feels so great. And the little jokes like get the devil dogs and they're running like the little devil dog donuts, or the fact that the cops are donuts. That shit is so fucking funny. Like just little minor things like that where you're like, man, this is great. Like this is clever stuff. And then the music's fantastic. Specifically, the Sugar Rush starting line theme is it's fire. It's so good. I can't get over it. And I think the story's great. And just the concept of it with like the characters going, but like him going to Tappers and like talking to the little Tapper dude, and then them doing the thing where he's like, hold up, and then it goes back out to the arcade and it's the arcade game playing. Same when he leaves, like Bad Guys Anonymous, that's the shit. It's Bad Guys Anonymous. That's so fucking cool. And then when he leaves it and it's in Pac-Man and he like, it cuts back out to the arcade and it shows him like leaving it and then grabbing the chair. So fucking good. I loved it. I loved it so much. It's great. Voice acting's great too.
I'm just disgusted.
I can't get enough of it. I really can't. I loved it so much.
Like, I'm a nerd too. I get it. The cops being donuts, yeah.
That was great, dude. It was fucking great.
But it doesn't do anything like.
You don't have to do anything new. You don't have to do anything new for something to be great, in my opinion.
And it's not. I'm not relating to the characters because it's a video game.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good.
It's so good.
But it's not that good.
I loved it. I cried a couple times.
Why?
Just because, like, the point where he's, like, crushing the little cart and she's like, no, please. And that stuff, that shit was hitting me hard.
Mm-hmm.
The point where she's, like, learning to drive. Like, it just, for some reason, those moments that were, like, slightly emotional were just, like, hitting me. I was like, why am I, like, because I sent it a couple times in the Discord while I was watching. Yeah. I was like, why am I crying right now in the club watching
It's a celebration of misfits. It's a good theme.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it does anything, like, crazy. I mean, there's a ton of references. And I think it's almost overbearing at the beginning how many references there are to other things.
But the things they're so in the background and minor. Whereas for something like Ready Player One, it's like that's the forefront of that whole film. This doesn't feel like that to me, like overbearing and really intense and super focused on the references. Like they're there, but they're not necessary. Like if you're watching the Tapper scene where he's talking to the guy in the restroom, and you can look at all the pictures in the background.
I think where
like a Space
this gets different is for me, like watching Encanto, I was able to watch that and feel things about the world around me and the people around me and how I interact with people and like the way I see life. I don't get that in Wreck-It Ralph. It's just a good fun movie.
Yeah.
Which is good, but that's not enough for me to make it like, yeah, that's my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah. No, it was good enough and fun enough for me to put it at number one.
I don't bro.
I'm sorry.
Big old cap.
This is definitely probably one of the most glaring misplacements, probably that the community will think on our list. Probably besides like Probably besides Aladdin at number 18.
This is a crime at this point, dude.
Brother Bear was not good, bro.
It was Brother Bear.
It wasn't
It's-
that.
More emotional than
Brother
movie.
and Brother Bear was not that good. And I didn't like Mulan. I think Mulan should still go down.
You're...
I stand.
You have
I-
Chicken Little at 15.
I stand by that, and I still think Chicken Little should move the fuck up.
What?
Chicken Little and Winnie the Pooh should be getting chunked the
No,
fuck up that
dude,
list, and,
stop.
and Mulan
Stop.
should be getting fucking
Stop.
slammed down into the 30s.
Stop, dude.
Why are you dissing
I'm sorry, I don't like Mulan.
He hates women.
No, that's not it.
He loves
No, it's because they're Chinese, bro.
I don't hate. No,
Yeah.
has nothing to do with that.
Mm.
Anyway,
We move on to Frozen.
You can move on
we're
to
gonna go ahead
Frozen,
and move on to
dude.
Frozen. I knew this would be spicy. When I finished the movie, I was like, I'm gonna rate this motherfucker number 1, aren't I? And then I thought about it, and and then I watched some more of it again, and I was like, yeah, I fucking am, and everyone is going to be pissed. And everybody was. Anyway, let's get in on Frozen. Frozen.
I'm gonna get a text from my mom.
Sorry, Miss Claire. When their kingdom becomes trapped in perpetual winter, fearless Anna joins forces with mountaineer Kristoff and his reindeer sidekick to find Anna's sister, Snow Queen Elsa, and break her icy spell. Although their epic journey leads them to encounters with mystical trolls, a comedic snowman, harsh conditions, and magic at every turn, Anna and Kristoff bravely push onward in a race to save their kingdom from winter's cold grip. So you ready for that their countdown?
Oh, give me a second. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1,
3.
5. Okay, that puts that 4, right above Tarzan. Now, when we were going into, dude, that's a two space differential, Mike.
No, I had to look at Wreck-It Ralph when I said it. So
Oh, sorry. No, we respect the sanctity of the
yeah, I'm
list,
not
bro.
gonna cheat just so I can get it higher.
Yeah, no. Otherwise, I would have just put Encanto at like 5 or whatever.
Even though this guy says number 1 every week.
I don't say that every fucking week. No, I don't. I definitely do not.
I think I said number 1 on Treasure Planet and Encanto. I think that's it.
I said like number 2 or 3 on Treasure Planet. Encanto, I said 2. Lilo and Stitch, I said 1.
Tarzan,
Meet the
you said
Robinsons
1.
says I said 1. Tarzan was like 9 weeks ago. No, I didn't. Mike did. I put it at
I
2.
did.
Which is also cat.
Or I put it at 3 actually, and I put it at 2.
Meet the Robinsons is
I love it, but I didn't like. There's a bunch of movies in there that I thought should go lower. A bunch.
All right, what do you gotta say about
Anyway,
Frozen?
so going into Frozen, like before we watched it, I expected to like put it at like number 1 or number 2, like
Yeah.
going in for the rewatch. But it just, and we talked about this while watching the movie. I don't know if we've seen Frozen 2 or if we've seen Encanto or a combination of both. But
Mhm.
Frozen 1 feels off.
It doesn't look right.
It looks weird. The mouth animation and things of that nature, like the characters are in this. They feel juxtaposed from like the environment that they're in. They don't feel like they live in it.
And it's only the human characters. I think Sven and Olaf look fine.
Yeah, they look fine, and it's so odd. And sometimes there's close-ups on characters where I was like, "Damn, this looks like first Ice Age level, like animation."
I don't think it was that bad.
There was a couple of scenes where I was
But
like,
you're
"This
like,
is bad."
oof, that's not great.
Yeah, and then on top of that, honestly, like the story and the character interactions and stuff, they just didn't hit as hard as I remembered them hitting.
I think it is a fault of having seen this movie 100 times.
Yeah, and Frozen 2, I haven't seen that, and seeing what Disney can do in the modern era.
Yeah.
I honestly probably would have ranked it lower if not for the fact that the soundtrack is like
The
super
soundtrack
good.
is really good.
And I probably would have ranked it lower if the soundtrack wasn't banging. But that soundtrack being banging, of course, Olaf, so funny. Even rewatching this movie now, all of his
Olaf's the
lines are
best
still
character.
so funny. They're hilarious.
And then the storyline is actually like once you get to the end, it's actually good.
yeah, with like
it
the
bre-
betrayal and stuff.
Yeah,
it kind
and
of breaks the
it
cycle.
breaks the like normal
Yeah.
a fairy tale ending that Disney's always done.
Let's introduce what we would assume to be the lead, then doesn't become the lead, and she's actually the villain, but not a villain.
Mhm.
But she is the villain, and then her sister's the lead. But it turns out she wasn't the villain. The guy that we thought was helping with it's like
Yeah,
it
it's
definitely
pretty
breaks
good.
the cycle, and I really like that. And of course, Idina Menzel,
Is an amazing
so
powerhouse,
good.
dude.
Her vocals are unparalleled in the Disney sphere. She plays she oh okay.
She does a lot of work. She
Yeah.
is Wicked,
So,
Broadway musical had her.
so
If you ever
good.
listen to,
Of course, Frozen
if
2
you just want to hear a
soundtrack.
good Idina Menzel song, go listen to Defying Gravity from the Wicked soundtrack.
Yeah, Idina
That song
Menzel,
is so good.
she can sing so good. All the songs are great. I think, these songs got repetitive, and every single one of the songs in the movie became like a powerhouse song in the culture. Honestly, I want to attribute that to the fact that this Disney musical reused their songs a bunch in the film, like a bunch. If you pay attention to the film, all of the songs are sung at least 2 or 3 times with like different lyrics and a very slight different cadence, but it's the same song, but they come up again and again and again and again. And I think that might attribute to why, because when you take like the actual number of different songs that are like in the film, it's actually a smaller list than you would think compared to like older musical Disney films. And I was paying attention to it, and I was like, oh, we're singing this song for like the 3rd time, but just with different lyrics, but it's the same like melody. And I think that might contribute to how these songs all became such cultural powerhouses, as they were like featured in the film multiple times, which wasn't a problem though, because those songs are really, really fucking good. Love is an Open Door, Fire,
I mean, Let It Go.
Let It Go, the titular track
That was like the biggest song
for years.
like a couple years.
For years.
And I don't think anybody didn't know all the words to that song.
No, that song's banging.
It's so good.
Just everything. Do you want to build a snowman?
I know every word for that song too. I'm not saying every word of the song. Every word that's uttered in that scene in the movie.
I know, because you were singing along to it, but then also saying
All the
words.
knocks, every single part of that song.
Yeah, you were hitting it pretty hard.
I've seen it so many times. I enjoy the movie.
Me too.
I think
It just
because of all the memories I have with this movie, it helped rank it higher. Because watching it now,
I don't think it holds up as well as I expected it to.
yeah, if I had watched all these for the first time, I think the list would be different. But I know how much this movie how good of a movie it was when I watched it the
I
first
do
time.
think Frozen 2 will rank much higher
yeah.
than this, because Frozen 2 is
We had a unanimous agreement that Frozen 2 is just an amazing movie.
it's great. We all went and watched it in theaters. I remember my dad made fun of me for like 4 or 5 days because it was just the boys. The boys got together and went and watched Frozen 2 day 1 in
It was
theaters,
good.
and it was the shit. It was so good. Anyway, so yeah, Frozen at number 4. How many do we have on the list now? We're up to 45. So we'll rank 46 and 47 next week. Once again, that's going to be Big Hero 6 and Zootopia, followed by Moana and Ralph Breaks the Internet, and then Frozen 2 and Raya and the Last Dragon. Next week, when we rank Big Hero 6 and Zootopia, which I'm excited for because I only watched Big Hero 6, like parts of it, so I haven't really seen it. And then I've never seen Zootopia, so I'm excited for that. But once we rank next week's, we will be introducing our nominees for, of course, spoiler alert, one of them was Harry Potter. Nominees for what we're going to be doing in the next franchise. Jordan will nominate one, Mike will nominate one, I will nominate one, and then we'll vote on those across the board, from Twitter to YouTube comments to whatever, DMs, the Discord, doesn't matter. You can send in what you want us to watch, and whatever gets the most the votes, we will end up watching that for our next franchise, and we'll go into it right after we rank Frozen 2 and Raya at the very end of this. But yeah, next week, Big Hero 6 and Zootopia.
I'm excited. I haven't seen Big Hero 6 since it came out. Zootopia, I remember watching it a couple times. I know it's good. I'm not as excited for it. But Big Hero 6, I'm really excited for.
I know a lot of people love it a lot. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so we got 2 little pieces of news here. Shang-Chi got confirmed for a sequel. Not surprising. Not surprising.
No,
that
not
movie
at all.
banged.
I'm curious what the thing is. I saw someone talking about it. Like maybe they reintroduce Iron Fist through Shang-Chi.
I hope not.
Why not?
Well, maybe. The Iron Fist in the Netflix show is so god-awful bad.
Well, okay, not reintroduce that same
But he's
Iron
like
Fist.
in the MCU already. He's there.
But not that guy.
But
Not that story.
Those are Netflix MCU. They're in the MCU.
Yeah, they did confirm Charlie Cox. If
They did.
If
Well, Charlie Cox may or may not be in the next Spider-Man during some leaks, and they did come out today and say Charlie Cox will be coming back as Daredevil in the future of the MCU.
that if Daredevil was supposedly
I think
it's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It's got to be
he's a
Spider-Man.
fucking
I was talking to Jordan about it. Like, it just makes sense. Why?
He needs a lawyer, right? He needs a lawyer up.
They showed a clip in the first trailer of him like at the table.
And you were sitting there. That looks
There's a
like
lawyer.
Charlie Cox. I remember you were
Yeah.
championing that was Charlie Cox.
Like,
and I
that's
was
Charlie
like,
Cox's
that's just
arm.
a fucking arm. Dude. That's just an arm. It turns out it actually
It
might be Charlie
be, bro.
Cox.
It might be.
Telling y'all, it's Daredevil kicking his.
Daredevil kicking. See,
Man,
dude, yeah, that could be. I don't know, man.
John Cena.
Yeah.
He's in it.
Dude, it could be anything. Like, it could be the 2 Spider-Man. It could be Doc Ock and Goblin.
Mhm.
It could be a lot of things.
It
We got
could-
to see Goblin's face. They showed a actual snippet of his of Willem
Mhm.
Dafoe's actual face in the film. Looks just as goofy.
It was funny. I saw a clip on IGN and it had Willem Dafoe,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Alfred Molina.
Jamie
Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx.
Sorry.
Yeah,
you
they,
saw the same clip.
Yeah, they were on a panel.
Yeah, where they're talking about like, what convinced you to do the film, and then Jamie Foxx is like, it's a reimagining of my character. It
Yeah,
looks
because
great.
he was very vocal about hating how Electra was done.
Yeah, and then Willem Dafoe is like, oh man, like they convinced me with how they described the story, and then Alfred Molina is like, money. I'm like, I love that. That's so
Money. You gotta love it. And then we got one trailer for you this week. We have the trailer for the movie Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. So this is Into the Spider-Verse 2, Part 1.
I got finesse because I didn't read the
Yeah.
The words.
So you've seen the Part 1, and it like splat. You've seen this Part 1.
yeah,
splat?
like when it splashed, I was like, oh
Yeah.
we're
So
getting two.
that's fucking hype. Hopefully they're just a year apart because remember this got delayed.
I
This
think-
got delayed a while. So
Yeah.
it's possible they hit us Part 1 and then a year later hit us Part 2.
I think because what all movies have done two parters. You got Harry Potter, Twilight,
The Hobbit.
Hobbit was 3 parts, wasn't it?
No, it was 3 parts, but the last movie was 2 parts.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was Hobbit 1, Hobbit 2, Hobbit 3 Part 1, Hobbit 3 Part 2.
You're no way.
Yeah,
You're capping.
they released that last movie was in 2 parts.
No,
That doesn't make any sense.
there's just 3 Hobbit movies. No,
Let's see.
there's just 3 Hobbit.
So
movies.
it was,
It's Hobbit, Desolation Smog,
Did
and
I-
the 3 Kings,
No,
4
you're
Kings, something like that.
you're correct.
Battle of the Five Armies.
Yeah, it's just 3.
Oh, and
Hunger Games did right. There's
Mockingjay Part 1.
Mockingjay Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
No,
And so all those
I'm
all those
completely
were a year
geeking.
apart, weren't they?
Divergent did it, and the book was only.
I didn't watch the Divergent one. I
Huh.
watched the first one and that was it.
Yeah, I completely made that shit up.
Yeah, you lying, bro.
In my
So
head.
did Deathly Hallows come out year to year? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure.
Or was there a bigger gap?
Well, yeah, no, he means like a gap of a
Was
year
it
or
2
less.
years or a year is what I'm wondering. You look up that one.
Because it's possible
And
that we did this in a
then
year.
what? Breaking Dawn. Okay, Breaking Dawn was. Okay, so every time they've done it in Hollywood, it's been a year.
The Matrix 2 came out like 6 months before the Matrix 3.
That's kind of wild. A year later.
Close, yeah. Because technically Endgame is Infinity War Part 2. Because it's the two-parter of the Avengers. That it isn't marketed as Part 1 and Part 2, but they came out a year apart.
Yeah.
And they're kind of a thing there. They're definitely a continuation.
So-
I hope we do because I love it in Spider-Verse. Bring up that trailer though. That shit's hot.
That
and I wanna
trailer.
see it again.
Whew,
I want to see that
baby.
shit right now. Jordan. Have you seen the trailer yet,
check.
Jordan? Put them motherfucking headphones on.
Watch trailers until we watch it.
Put them motherfucking headphones
Put the
on.
headphones on. Cover your ears, boy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hit that shit. This trailer's hot. It is. Once you'll understand. Hello, it's me. All right.
Meanwhile, in another. And there's a lot of stuff to analyze in this trailer.
Oh yeah, there is. I like the funny clip where it's Miles trying not to look at Gwen's ass.
Mhm.
Dude, fuck
Bro,
you.
it's
This
a great
hits.
song.
Fuck you.
Relax. Sunflower.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck you, Jordan. This song hits.
Miles,
Remember, this is how the last one ended.
got a minute?
Mm-hmm. But when it ended, he was in his dorm room, and not in his room.
Yeah.
It's a long story. Is this the room you grew up in?
It is. But
Whoop.
my dorm room is very adult.
Right. No, of course.
I love this animation, dude.
It's so good.
On his shelf, you can see the moose from Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Hell yeah. That movie was obviously animated in the same style.
Yeah, very good.
So,
That's isn't that Haley Steinfeld?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought I'd never see you again.
Want to get out of here?
When that
This will always be the cleanest spider move, right here.
with the out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I love the fucking out the window.
Dude, it's so good.
Is Spider-Man grounded?
I mean,
I love the fucking Spider Gwen suit. I cannot get enough.
Good
Good.
colors.
It's a fantastic suit.
Gosh. Oh, dude.
And this is a Spider-Man 2099 that ends up catching him, right?
Played by Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, which I love the fucking suit.
So I'm confused because I would have thought it would be him pulling Miles into this, not Gwen. But I don't know. There's
Yeah.
like obviously. Oh, why is it like why?
'Cause in the
why
end
is he scrapping?
in the end credit scene, remember we seen him talking about how he needed to get the rest of them. We've seen this guy. Yeah. But I guess.
Oh,
if
that
he was
throw,
able-
dude.
So good. And the music is heat in that. Doo-doo. And boom.
And then I got hit with the part one.
Part
dude.
one.
I was like, oh, there's two. That was 2 minutes, bro.
So good. Fantastic.
I
Love to
can't
see
wait
that
for
shit.
that, dude.
Yeah.
It's a different excitement than the Spider-Man 3 excitement I have right now.
Yeah.
But that one's just like I don't need anything.
Yeah.
Just animate the movie the same way you did the other one. Tell a
And get
decent
some
story.
Hot hip hop tracks.
Uh-huh.
I like tall buildings so I can leap off of them.
You think they can? So I think they can
Like,
keep the
what's up,
animation to
Angel?
the same
Mhm.
level. Do you think the soundtrack will hit just as hard?
Yes.
You think it's
You
possible?
know what I think you should do? You should have Kendrick do the soundtrack.
Yeah, he
I
did
know.
that
Have him do it again.
again. He's writing an album. He busy.
You want him to be writing it out.
He said he is.
No, he did. He did. I know, but it could hit. So, honestly, I would have said had Juice WRLD do the album. Denzel might
Get Corday, honestly.
Maybe. Nah, Corday.
Young talent.
I think Juice could have done good had he been alive.
You need a wide range
Yeah, Jaden's too niche.
because you need to like walk in the streets of New York.
The last
In a
soundtrack.
slump
The last
mood.
soundtrack was fire. Just do it exactly like you did the last soundtrack. It was fucking heat.
Well, it looks like they're just gonna reuse the last soundtrack, which is cool
Hey,
with me.
which is, hey, it's fine with me, bro. If we're jumping off buildings again and What's Up Danger's playing, let's go.
If they reuse these things,
I'm not offended. I'm still hyped.
I would be like, man, really? But
I'm buying in.
I'm in.
I'm watching it twice. Huh? Yeah. I'm watching it twice, bro. You know how it goes.
You're gonna watch it twice
Absolutely.
in theaters,
Probably.
back to back.
I watched Encanto twice.
Was that from desire or necessity?
But it was from I wanted to take Pebble and Noah, but also I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it at number 1 or 2 or 3, and I wanted to watch it again and figure it out.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, so
I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
anyway, now it's time to talk about the things you've been watching. Have you been watching much besides Hawkeye?
Yeah, Hawkeye this week I think
so
was
good.
it was
Well, we're not gonna
it's not
spoil
gonna
it.
spoil.
But it's man, it's honestly it's hitting way harder than I expected.
I don't think it's a spoiler. We just got to see Hawkeye do cool stuff that he doesn't get to do.
Yeah, because
Normally.
he's like a background character.
Yeah,
So him being in the forefront is like it's nice.
it's like oh you can
No,
do
it's-
stuff.
It's great. I think this show, honestly, and it's possible because my expectations were dog shit.
Mhm.
It's why it's hitting so hard. I think it's like an 8.
I think so too.
I'm
I will
like-
say
I'm
my
really
only qualm
digging
right
it.
now. Don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but that you'll get those answers later.
I know, but it's like I'd rather like have one solid lead and then be bamboozled in the last episode
Mhm.
than not know what's going on for
Yeah.
4 episodes and then
People think it's Kingpin.
that I could see that.
Well, Kingpin is Echo's uncle in the.
Spoilers, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just saying.
No, for him.
Well, it's just a theory
Yeah, but he doesn't know about.
about a character. Well, he doesn't even know who that character is.
Does he?
Absolutely not. No, not Kingpin. The other character I said.
now I know there's a character named Echo. So
Well, yeah,
Yeah. See what I'm
but
saying?
they never say that person's name.
He was talking about Arcane. It's okay.
No, I wasn't talking about
you
Arcane.
can put the shit down at any point.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so there's some theories there, but there's only 3 episodes left, so I think you'll get your answers like fairly quickly.
I hope so. I need something.
I'm loving it a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, I think Haley Steinfeld plays a good.
Good Kate Bishop.
Also the fangirl part of it. I didn't like it as much earlier. This episode is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Cause I mean I needed to see her do stuff too.
Yeah, and it's also
And she did.
it's also part daddy issues like too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Well, that happens in the first 3 minutes.
I said I'm gonna stop myself from spoiling
Oh,
something.
okay. Anyway, good stuff.
Yeah.
I love it.
I encourage the watch.
Anyway, I watched a little bit of Pin 15. Started season 2, part 2.
Nice.
Still hitting.
I don't think I've watched anything else.
Pin 15 is so good. Yeah, no, we didn't really. We hadn't Well, you guys were watching a movie out here the other day.
Oh, I watched Teata.
Okay, yeah, you guys were talking about
It
that.
was really good.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's not like the most amazing acting you've ever seen or anything, but the
Mhm.
story it tells is really good.
Yeah. That was like
Um,
the Native American movie thing.
Yeah, it follows a Chickasaw woman
Mhm.
as she kind of grows and becomes a very famous storyteller.
Mhm.
And like
Mhm.
it follows her as she like goes through college at the at USAO pretty
Mhm.
much, and then goes on to Broadway, and you get to see her how she decides to like not give into what Broadway wants versus telling her own stories and stuff like that. It's good. I think you should watch it.
Good stuff.
Very good stuff.
And that's pretty much it. Now stop the things that are coming soon.
What's coming?
West Side Story drops on Friday.
Steven Spielberg.
Yep. I'm gonna
watching.
go watch it.
Yeah.
And then The Unforgivable. That's the Netflix joint with Gravity, Bird Box,
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. And then Don't Look Up. That's the one with Leonardo and Jennifer Lawrence and the gang.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't like that trailer.
I didn't either, but I gotta watch it because it's Leonardo and Jennifer Lawrence and stuff.
I mean, yeah.
And it comes out on who else is in that? The chubby guy,
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yeah, that drops on Friday.
Wow, how did I get that off of Chubby Guy?
Well, I mean that's what he's known as.
Ariana Grande is also in it.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people in it, and it comes out on Netflix, so I feel like might as well. Me too.
I feel like we gotta watch the Harder They Fall before that.
Yeah, I do need to watch Harder They Fall. But speaking of hilarious, Spencer writes into Reader Mail, which you can write into synceduppod@gmail.com or the Reader Mail submissions tab of the Discord
Yes, sir.
with any questions such as
What
this
did he
one that he
say?
asks, what movie would you consider the peak of comedy? I'm not a big comedy fan, but Monty Python for me has got to be the best. Most outrageous comedy movie I've ever watched. So, comedy's not my forte. And also, peak comedy's hard. This is hard because this is like the most subjective.
Comedy also it's subjective and it ages.
Yeah.
So what may have been peak comedy 20 years ago is not necessarily like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Because
that's
like,
the funniest movie I've
I
ever
liked
found.
Tropic Thunder. But rewatching Tropic Thunder in the year 2020 like I did, I was like,
I don't
man,
think that's peak comedy.
only like 4 of these jokes hit.
I think
it's classic.
For me, it'd have to be something like Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, it's a classic. You know that wasn't originally going to be a comedy?
It wasn't?
No. So I've listened, I cannot remember what podcast I was listening to, but they were interviewing like some guy, and he talked about the guy who did Blazing Saddles was told by execs to not make it funny and to make it a serious movie. And he told the story about how he just agreed with everything that the execs said.
Yeah.
And then when he got out of the office, he just fucking threw the notepad away and just still made his movie how he was going to make it. And then it ended up being
Really
fucking Blazing Saddles.
Dude, it's for me, I think the answer is just any comedy movie that has Gene Wilder. And that includes Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka's so good.
It's funny.
But I know, but Willy Wonka.
It's like ironically funny. It's not like
it is a comedy, but
punchline.
it doesn't-
Punchline. It's just ironic.
It doesn't feel like one. The
It's-
Marvel movies have a decent amount of comedy. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Comedy's
oh
just-
my god. Oh
they're
my god.
not my shtick,
What's
I
it-
don't think.
What's it called?
Dave was good.
Dude, what is it called?
Huh.
McLovin.
McLovin? Oh, Kick-Ass?
No.
No, bad, super bad?
Super bad. Thank you. That one's good. What are you over there knowing for? You looked. You
No,
looked up.
What? The Kick-Ass.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because in Superbad, they have like suits and shit too?
What?
Am I tripping? No, different movie.
Suits.
I love that guy though. I thought I seen him at the bank the other
Who, McLovin?
Yeah.
You thought you seen McLovin in the bank?
I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure it's McLovin at the bank. But no, it wasn't. Yeah, what the fuck is McLovin? I mean, Drake's in Oklahoma, I guess, so maybe McLovin's
Yo,
at the
anybody can be here at this point.
bank. So, that's hard. I really liked the other guys when it first came out. Things like Step Brothers and stuff, but those don't hit anymore, you know? Those movies, they do not hold up.
Yeah.
Like things like Talladega Nights and Anchorman. I guess I'm just naming Will Ferrell movies.
They're good. Like Austin Powers and stuff. I used to like that a lot.
Yeah, but they just don't hit anymore. Comedy's hard. I think comedy shows are doing it more for me nowadays than comedy movies.
Yeah.
Pin 15, Dave.
You know what? Honestly, might be cap. Nacho Libre is still up there for me.
Yeah,
I love Jack Black
but
so
that's
much.
that's
School of Rock as well.
Jack Black's so good. Jack Black's the
It's.
He's
I
great.
agree. They don't hold up, but those were my favorite at the time.
Yeah.
Or Jack Black films
Jack Black,
before
man.
like Will Ferrell films and
he's in
stuff.
Psychonauts too.
He is. But I'm gonna give it to the Gene Wilder movies. Willy Wonka, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Black Dynamite. I love Black Dynamite.
Yeah, you do.
You ever seen Black Dynamite?
No.
So good, bro. Honestly, I watched that shit right after this. Black Dynamite. How'd you know that was a bad guy? Because donuts don't wear crocodile shoes. Y'all don't get that joke, but it's really good.
What does that mean?
Yeah, if you watch the movie,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Damn.
It's a classic.
Mhm.
Anybody who's watched Black Dynamite, let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the Synced Up Filmcast. Next week we'll be watching Zootopia and Big Hero 6. Write it down. Watch them, please. Write in about them. We'd appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna need more tiebreakers.
Mm-hmm. We need more tiebreakers. That way we don't gotta resort to Amdu and Rotten Tomatoes and the like. You know.
Yes, sir.
You know how it goes. But anyway, so that's it for this
Stick around.
episode. If you're on audio, go to youtube.com/synceduppod, subscribe. Give us a subscribe there. Drop a like on a couple vids. We'd appreciate that. Also, go to patreon.com/syncedup, where for $1 you can get access to the lovely Discord where we talk about a lot of things in there.
Or
you can pay $5 to get access to the post show that we're about to do.
Right
so
now.
if you do that, we'll see you in a few minutes. Everybody else, we'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.